Good afternoon, friends. You're probably familiar with this background because it's the one I use in my online Sunday school class. So I will continue using this as you will understand who this message is to. I wanted to give you a little different insight using a different method of speaking to you. Up until now, most of my messages have been through artificial voices and through my writings. But I'm starting to feel more comfortable by using these Zoom and YouTube messages, and I haven't done that with our Bible studies. So I'm putting this together to let you know that I'm beginning to do something new with our group. I'm not going to use a lot of these YouTubes in order to teach because I'm just beginning a study in the book of First Corinthians. So I'm kind of giving you a heads up of where I'm going with the Sunday school class. I have started, at the request of some pastors in Africa, I started a discipleship ministry for pastors. Imagine that. Something I dreamed about doing was starting some type of a Bible training institute. And about the time I gave up thinking about it as a lost cause, I received a message from a pastor who'd been listening to my first message on the book of Revelation that I did as a video. And he asked me if I did discipleship ministries. And I said, well, it's interesting enough that I've been praying about this for a long time. And now the Lord seems to have opened that door. So it seems to be quite a good ministry. And I'm able to share with these pastors some things they never learned in the schools. There's nothing like 60 years of ministry experience that gives you something to share with somebody else. So beside doing these Sunday school lessons, I am also discipling pastors. Can you imagine that? In my wildest dreams, it has not been anything I thought that God would ever lead me into. But back to our Sunday school. I just completed my book on Isaiah. It's been about 2.5 years ago that I started, and the Lord has been gracious. I've been able to meditate on the scriptures without using any commentaries or helps. And I put together, I think it's one of the most easy to understand books on Isaiah that has ever been written. Believe me, I think Alan Redpath has written one of the best ones. But after reading some of his messages, I didn't use them to prepare my own, but after having read some of his afterwards, his are more sermonic in form. He takes passages and preaches sermons on them, but he doesn't give a verse by verse exposition of the chapter. So I think, in a sense, my book is more helpful because it doesn't get off the subject too easily. It stays with the text as much as possible. And this is what I wanted to do. And I got so excited about having accomplished this particular thing. Imagine writing a book on Isaiah without the use of commentaries. And friends, I'll tell you, I bought one commentary and they started putting in their, the rapture and all this kind of stuff that has nothing to do with Isaiah. But I found out that not too many people that had done a verse by verse exposition on the book. So I'm going to complete the remaining chapters. I think I started chapter 56 this week, and I'll go through the end of the book for the next few weeks until we complete it. And then we'll launch right into First Corinthians. I already gave you the preface to the book that I wrote, and if necessary, I'll send it again. But what I'm doing is I'm putting together an exposition with the hopes of demonstrating to my discipleship group how to actually meditate on the scriptures. And by putting it together as not only as an exposition, but as an audio, I could demonstrate to them how it's to be done. I think there are things that we have to demonstrate rather than articulate, if you know what I mean. I've been emphasizing to our discipleship ministry, you can't expect the people to go any higher than you are in your spiritual life. It doesn't happen. It never will happen. The people will be what you are, what you demonstrate to them you are. And if you're a person that doesn't diligently study the Word of God, your people won't either. You see, we have to be the role models to what we want others to do. So this is the message I'm trying to share with my disciples. And I will send you a copy today of First Corinthians chapter 1, verses 1 through 3. I did an exposition last night, and it is interesting that before I went to bed, I spent a couple hours working on it, and I was able to put together a meditation just on those first 3 verses. And by doing this, I can demonstrate to others just how it's done. So I'm sending the message to you to let you know I'm going to finish Isaiah first before I go into depth on the other book. But I'm going to send you some copies as I go along on First Corinthians. But so that when we begin, we'll be already in the midst of the book, and we won't have to make a transition. It'll be, so I'm sending you both copies of the book of First Corinthians while I'm doing them. And hopefully this will keep you informed as to what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And when you get these messages, you won't be confused or surprised that I'm giving you 2 messages at once. I am, but I thought maybe it wouldn't be too confusing if you knew that I deliberately are putting 2 together at the same time. Now you don't have to read them as one book. They're 2 separate studies, but at least you'll have a little bit of heads up. And as I proceed to First Corinthians, I'll be finished with Isaiah. I sent you a free ebook of Isaiah, so you can actually read it as well if you want. But I still have put my original teachings on audio, so you can listen to them as well as read them. And hopefully they'll be a blessing to you. So thank you for paying attention. I want you to know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And hopefully it will be a blessing. We'll see you later.